Hello, my friend. I'm so happy that you chose to join me on your mat today. To make sure that you have everything that you need for this practice, go ahead and grab a pillow, maybe a couch pillow or something like that, to have that available to you if you need it for the beginning of class. It'll be short, sweet, but it will leave you feeling much, much better than when you started. So to get started, let us find a comfortable seat. So that can mean a lot of things for a lot of people. This is a great one, I think. Our goal here in our sitting position, so whether you find yourself, say, on your knees, sitting cross-legged, sitting on a pillow, I'll show you the three different options. But one thing we want to think of is having our spine be tall, having our shoulders be right over our hips. So here is not really where we want to be, nor do we want to be here. So seeing the shoulders over the hips. That is helping us find our alignment, helping us be nice and stacked, helping keep our core nice and strong. So I know for many of us, myself included, especially in the past, I spent time at desks and I would sit like this. So I get it. For me, my weak point is my hip flexors. It's gotten a lot stronger. However, I know for many of us, sitting cross-legged is not a comfortable position. To help combat that, if you want to be there, sitting on a pillow is a really great thing. You can use it to elevate your hips a little bit, which helps to take kind of that, for me, takes the pressure out of my hips and sometimes out of the low back too. So finding what works for you. You can be on your knees, you can be sitting cross-legged, you can sit cross-legged on a pillow. All are viable options. So once you get there, all right, we're in our nice seated position. We'll sit up nice and tall. Again, finding the shoulders over the hips. That includes engaging the abs a little bit. And you can let the hands rest on the knees or the shins, depending where you're at. And let's first start by tapping into our breath. So you can close your eyes here if you like, but we can begin to tune in and focus on our breath. So let's take a couple here on our own. Move with your breath, allow it to lead you. Think of allowing it to be nice and long, not meaning longer than it needs to be, but allowing yourself time with it. So taking your inhale through your mouth or your nose, whichever is most comfortable. And then also exhaling either out through the mouth or nose. There's something very satisfying about exhaling through the mouth. So if that serves you, go ahead and find that here. So let's continue breathing. We'll take a few more here. Let's take about two more full breaths in and out here. Now you can gently begin to blink your eyes open, and then let's let the chin drop towards the chest. You can think of even finding a little squeeze in your shoulder blades here, still maintaining that erectness in your spine. Hi, Leia. Come here. Come and say hi. No? Okay. Sorry. My dog's a little special sometimes. So allowing the chin to drop to the chest, finding a little squeeze in the shoulder blades to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips, not allowing it to round. And then we'll take our gaze upward towards the sky. So working with your own neck here, not forcing, not pushing anything past, but you do want to feel a nice stretch along the front of the neck, as well as you feel a little bit of compression in the back of the neck. So moving to what is comfortable for you. And then we'll drop back to chin to the chest. And here we'll feel lengthening along the back of the neck. And then one more time, glancing up towards the sky. One more time, chin to chest. Continuing to breathe here. And being conscious of our breath. And then glancing one more time up towards the sky. Coming back to center. Let's let the right ear go towards the right shoulder. So finding a nice stretch here along the left side of the neck. And here you can either keep the hands on the knees, or if you want, you could reach that left hand out towards the side. That's going to probably make that stretch a little more intense. So if that doesn't feel good, you can always bring it back here. So finding what you need in the moment for today. And continuing to breathe here. Back to center, and then we'll switch sides. So left ear towards the left shoulder. And then again, if you want to find that right hand out towards the right wall, you can find that. And find that stretch all along the right side of the neck, even into the shoulder. I even feel it like down my bicep. And then coming back to center. From here, so if you're already feeling the hips, feel free to change your position. Actually, let's just do it for funsies. So come onto the knees, coming onto the knees, but again, still finding the shoulders over the hips. We're going to find cactus arms. So when I first started to do this, I found it very challenging. I still find it very challenging. I get really kind of hot. It builds heat very quickly in my body when I do this because it's still an area that is challenging for me. But again, thinking of our alignment. So here we want to think of wrists over elbows and shoulder and the elbow more or less lined up height-wise. So we find ourselves here, and you can think also of squeezing the shoulder blades together in the back and finding space across the chest. That is the goal of this pose and this exercise. So should breathe here and finding that little squeeze. Let's take one more breath here. And then we'll let it go. So let the arms down by the side. You can shake them out if you like. And then while we're here, we're going to find a nice twist. So still sitting up nice and tall. We're going to take the left hand over towards the right knee, and the right hand's going to reach behind us. So we're thinking of opening our chest and shoulders up to the right, while allowing our hips to still point forward. And so we may not be able to open as much as we might like, but again, we're moving with our body with where we're at today. So find yourself a nice, good stretch, but we don't want to really find any forcing or pulling or sharp pains anywhere. And if you do, feel free to back out, because honoring your body is what yoga is all about. So finding that here. A couple more breaths in this place. Last inhale here. And then exhale, come back to center. We'll switch sides. So right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Left hand reaches towards the back. Keeping ourselves nice and tall. We'll breathe here for about 5 breaths. Final inhale here. And exhale, coming back to center. All right, let's make our way to our hands and our knees. So again, finding our alignment, stacking the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees, and finding your arms and legs about shoulder and hip width distance apart. From here, we're gonna let the belly go towards the ground. Think of kind of pulling the chest through on your inhale for cow pose. Exhaling for cat, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin. Inhale, belly hammocks. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Continue moving through your cat and your cow. If you want to move front to back or side to side, feel free to do that. If something feels really nice, you can hang out there for a little extra time. Or if something feels a little tight, feel free to also hang out there. Come here, little boogie. Hi, honey. So continuing to move here and breathe. All right, coming to a nice neutral spine from here, allowing the neck to be long, and again, making sure those shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. Let's keep the left hand planted, arm nice and straight. We're gonna open up across, lifting the right arm. Ooh. Opening across the chest, and then we're gonna thread the needle. Right arm comes under the left, coming onto the right shoulder, right side of the head. And then we have some options for that left hand. It can stay right where it's at. It can reach forward over your head, or it can wrap behind the low back. So really whatever, again, is feeling good in your body today. Feel free to play with those and see what works best for you. And then as we're here in our twist, let's continue to focus on our breath. And then let's take one more full breath here. If your hand moved, go ahead and find it back under that left shoulder, and then we're going to press our way back up, nice and straight with the left arm. Right arm is going to open one more time towards the right, and then back to the center. And then right hand stays nice and firm. We're going to open with the left arm, threading the needle, bringing the left arm under the right, coming onto that shoulder, side of the head, and then feeling free to find whatever position you like with that right arm. And then one more breath here. We'll plant the right hand, coming up, opening up one more time to the left. And then left hand comes to the ground. From here, let's go ahead and tuck the toes, lift the hips, and press our way back to our first down dog of class. And so in our down dog, feel free to pedal out the feet. You can dip one heel, bend the other knee deeply, and then switch. So that really allows you to stretch out the back of each leg individually. It's nice and slow. You can come up on the toes if you like. Sway the hips side to side, really anything that you need. You can shake the head yes and no to release any tension in the neck. And then when you're ready, find some stillness in your down dog. I find sometimes that having a nice generous bend in my knee allows my down dog to be more accessible to me. So play with how that feels as well. And then looking at our toes at the back of our mat, let's slowly walk our hands back to meet them. And feet are about hips width distance apart. You can bend the knees greatly here as well. And then grab opposite elbows, letting the top of the head point towards the ground. And this is our forward fold. This is a great, great pose for hamstrings, low back. I find that I feel a lot of relief in my neck if I allow it to hang really, well, if I allow my head to hang really heavy, and not try to hold it up. So that's where that top of the head pointing the ground comes in. And you're welcome to go with very straight legs. I've actually found that I like better finding that nice bend. It allows me to find more of a stretch in my hamstrings even with them bent, which seems surprising. But everybody is different, so finding what you like or what works for you is what we're working towards. So from here, let's release the arms down by our sides. Slowly roll up the spine, one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way to standing. And once we do, really thinking about our feet here and finding a nice firm foundation. So you can think of your big toe, kind of the joint here, and your pinky toe joint, and then both sides of your heels. So finding equal distribution of your weight on your feet is helpful rather than being on your toes or being on your heels, because it can affect your balance. So finding that nice firm foundation is a great place to start. Something to think about here. And then finding the hips over the ankles and the shoulders over the hips. It's our nice strong mountain pose. One other thing, so we can squeeze the shoulder blades together just slightly, and then where our gaze is. So when you're thinking of a nice strong mountain, the energy tends to be up, if you will, versus down. So we want our gaze to be forward, chin is more or less parallel to the ground. So nice and strong here. Then we inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale, arms up. And exhale, dive it forward. Hanging out here one more time in our forward fold. Slowly we'll roll up the spine. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive it forward. One more time, we'll roll up the spine. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold forward. From here, you can find a nice bend in your knees. Let's find our way to our mat, to our child's pose. So big toes come together to touch, knees go nice and wide. We'll sit the hips back, let the arms reach forward, and rest the forehead on the mat. You can rock the forehead side to side. Gives a nice self-massage. We'll just take a few breaths here to complete our practice. And just thank you so much for taking the time for yourself to move your body, to connect with your breath, and allowing me to lead you through it. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to come on up really quickly and say, the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thanks again for joining me. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content coming out soon. I'll see you next time on your mat.